Hi, everyone. My name is Will Hunter. The other night, I presented my workshop on digital fluency, more specifically, effectively using, not just knowing how to use the tools, but effectively using tools of AI to help make our jobs easier. I often have to explain in PL that I design and deliver at my school about school AI. I have to start off a lot with how AI is not going to take our jobs, it's going to help our jobs. We're going to look at one way it will help us. And it's going, we're still going to be the brain in the operation, but AI will help us relax our brain and do less manual work. So, the way I presented it was in a Canva whiteboard. And Dr. Wadsworth asked me to kind of narrate a video of the process. Thought people would really, people who don't use this wouldn't mind seeing how it's done. And so that's the purpose of this video, is to uh, show you about AI helping us make our jobs easier, but also about the presentation format of the whiteboard. Uh, the items you can see here, this is the whole workspace zoomed out. I have a pre-survey over on the left, a post-survey over on the right. They bookend the elements of the presentation of the workshop. Started here in number 2 with a introduction, and then a discussion about prompt creation. And each of these 2 videos that are embedded are live or real-time screen recordings of me typing in 2 different types of prompts, and then the output below is what those prompts created. And then this was an activity. Again, this is an embedded Canva document. This is an activity that if we had had more people, there would have been, small groups, and the small groups would have each participated together and worked on their own prompt. And then I included this AI generated, um, creating an effective prompt guide for teachers. And this was specifically for creating a 3-day online lesson plan. You can ask AI for help on how to create prompts for anything in education. Now, we're going to get into the fact that sometimes you have to do all of the prompt writing yourself if you do not have access to a program such as Magic School or School AI. We use School AI in Fulton County Schools, and it has several different assistants already built in for specific purposes. A syllabus assistant, a lesson plan assistant, IEP assistant if you're in special ed and you have to update or edit or create IEPs. It's an extremely efficient platform, but still, if you don't have a platform like that, you can use Copilot, Google Gemini, um, Claude, whatever, uh, with effective prompt writing. And so this was just a little guide. If the small groups had been a thing and they would have done their own prompt writing, this was there for them as a resource. And it's there for you if you want to look over it. And then this was a post survey. Um, Again, with the surveys, they're embedded Google Forms, and on a Canva whiteboard. Again, I'm pinching inward and outward because I have a touchscreen laptop, and pinching is if you start with your 2 fingers in the middle and you pinch out, it zooms in. If you pinch them in toward the center, it zooms out, out, out. And so if I go all the way down to 1%, you can see just how small uh, everything is and how much space there is. Corporations, companies use digital whiteboards for massive projects. Project teams use digital whiteboards um, to eliminate a lot of headaches. So they started with the survey, and instead of a bunch of links in the chat dialogue on Teams, they could just click on the survey itself here, and you double click and then start answering the questions. Um, Again, you scroll up and down by usually touching outside of the element. So I'm touching over here where my cursor is, I'm touching in the whiteboard um, surface. But if I can't read something, I can always zoom in or out. Then to go up and down, I'm just scrolling up and down. You can also scroll left to right manually down here at the bottom, this scroll bar where my cursor is. But again, if you have a touch screen, it's much more efficient to just use your fingers. So once your participants finish the survey, and again, this could be, if this were a student activity, this could be a pre-assessment, a pre-test, and then the teaching goes on, and then the activity goes on, and then do a post-test, see how much they learned in that 50-minute, 45-minute lesson activity. But once you finish this, they just click submit, and you can see where it shows that your survey was submitted. And then I just go and look at all the responses. The introduction slides were basically describing a study from Switzerland, because there is not a lot of research in the US using large samples of teacher pools, large pools of teachers, um, on these topics, because it just hasn't been used that much. So, sorry, I've been playing with stuff, and so I kept moving my my screen is very sensitive. Um, so, on this embedded slideshow, oh my gosh, on this embedded slideshow, let me try this one more time. Here we go. On this embedded slideshow, you can double click on, or just click on the slides, and now you can control the slides and zoom in or out. If you're presenting, you want to zoom in so your participants can see. And it just goes over the fact that of these over 400 teachers in Sweden, more than half had not used AI to help their teaching. More than, the majority of the respondents did not think it supported their development as teachers. And then the study got into student use of AI in the classroom. So, again, we went over all these, and then we got into key takeaways from the data. We didn't spend time scrubbing through the data, just gave some key takeaways of the data. You're more than welcome to look at that on your own with the view link. So then the workflow, left to right, just like we read, goes to prompt creation and output. There are two videos. The one on the left under number 3 is a simple prompt, and it just said, create an activity or create a worksheet on plate tectonics. And this was what it created. Very simple. You would have to go back and change the format. You have to ask it to make a PDF downloadable version, or downloadable Word file, whatever you need. Or it might just give you the info and you have to copy and paste it and then format it all yourself. But obviously with this, you're going to have to go in and reformat some of the items. And again, that was a very simple, generic prompt for AI. And here, the prompt got very specific. I'm not going to play the video right now. You can do this on your own time. But the prompt was very specific for making a 3-day unit for gifted middle school students on plate tectonics. I asked it to align with Georgia State standards. I asked it for objectives, daily objectives, essential question for the unit, essential question for each day, learning objectives, learning outcomes, and then it gave a lesson sequence with activities. I did have to go back and remind it that it was for an online class, and it converted all of the activities it created to digital activities. The prompt was very specific to include authentic formative assessments. I did have it create a summative assessment, but that's one that you probably would want to go in and really look over. Everything the AI creates for you, you want to look over as the teacher to make sure everything is aligned with what you've been teaching them or what you want them to learn. Um, if, as you can see here, this output was when I had to remind it, it was a online course, and I just made a quick document. I had it make a quick document of all of the links to the online elements that it created, the digital elements, the digital activities that it created. And these, it gives a description and a link to the worksheets and whatnot. So again, look through that as much as you want. Then the activity would have been for the participants to break into small groups. We didn't have enough to really do it, so we just talked through some things with how to make a prompt. And they would have made their own prompt in a small group for a specific topic. And then if they'd had time to feed the AI platform their prompt, they would have pasted what it created for them. And this is a resource I made with AI. It took me all of 10 seconds. I asked it to make a good diagram for effective prompt writing for teachers for designing a 3-day online lesson plan. And it really goes through what you need to include. Um, you might want to, click on it and save it yourself. And then the post survey, same thing as the pre-survey. Double click, answer the questions, and submit. And that's what we did. And that's a digital whiteboard used as a presentation tool. Now, what I'm going to provide, I provided my workshop the template link. And if you use Canva and you don't know about this, you just simply click share. And the template link right there gives you a link to push to students that will create their own version of this in their Canva library. What I'm going to provide is a public view link. Well, I'll provide both. If you click share, another link you can share with Canva is a public view link. And what the public view link does, it provides a link for anyone with or without Canva to open up a view of it. The cool thing about both the template links and the public view links, any hyperlinks you have, any online and any embedded items, the student, the learner, whoever, can click on the hyperlinks, can engage with the embedded items like we just did, even though they don't have a Canva membership. It's really a cool function that a lot of teachers don't know about, and they use Canva for making cute little slides. They don't realize sometimes how much there is in Canva to help us be effective teachers. So what I'm going to provide also in the thread, in the discussion post, is this video, obviously, a link, a public view link, a template link, and also a couple of little tutorials on how to do things like embedding items onto the whiteboard. Because if you want to do this, you've got to know how to embed the items. I hope this was helpful, and I hope everyone's had a good semester and has a good rest of their degree program.